Hello. I believe that we're on now. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. Today, I want to talk about your life chart and why bad things happen to you. So, I believe that you should take what rings true and let the rest go. So, you don't have to believe anything I say. Today, I'm going to talk about what I've learned from two spirit guides, Rahim and Francine, who were spirit guides for Sylvia Brown. And I'm also going to talk about what I've learned from my hypnosis clients. So, we write a life chart to decide what lessons we want to learn. We choose a focus, which we call a theme, and we plan lessons around that theme. So, say your theme is victim, then you're going to choose some experiences to experience what it's like to be a victim. So, my dad was a victim. So, he went bankrupt. He had his partners in the ranch, the silent partner, take no responsibility whatsoever. He was a great athlete. And when it was time for him to go to the Junior Rose Bowl, he broke his knee. He also wasn't able to go to Hawaii with his football team. So, not so pleasant experiences. We also, because he was a victim, would have things happen like on the way to a wedding, we would have a flat tire. Often, small things would happen or large things would happen that would be in the victim mode. We had someone try to break into our house. So, victim things that he chose to put in his chart. If you have a different theme, maybe your theme is rejection, or your theme is caretaker, or your theme is experiencer, or your theme is catalyst, then you would choose experiences and lessons to learn in that mode. Now, why do we have all the experiences? Why do we come to Earth to learn? Earth is the most difficult planet. It's the most difficult environment because it's got lots of negativity and negative people. Not all negative people are bad. For instance, I had a life of despair, and my friends and family from the other side played roles in that lifetime. And their roles were to help me to live a life of despair. That doesn't mean they are mean in essence. That doesn't mean they're awful in essence. That means they were playing a role. So we have a life chart because we have the source of our creation, I call God, and we were created to experience for God. So God has intellect and emotion, and he split off part of the emotion, us, to create us to experience for him. So every time we experience something good or bad, we are sharing with our source, with our God. He created angels to help us in this life. Angels protect us, but they also make sure we're on our life chart. We go to a temple on the other side called the Hall of Charts, and we plan our lifetime. We pick our theme, we pick an option line, one area of our life that we haven't even written in that affects all the rest of our life. And we write what we want to experience. We sit with our friends and acquaintances and we plan out our life like a play. So in this life, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. Maybe I know my sister has been my sister in another life. I know my mom in this life has been a sister in another life. So we choose different roles to play. Sometimes you're the mom, sometimes you're the sister, sometimes you're the friend, sometimes you're the coworker, whatever it is. And when you're sitting there planning your lifetimes, you plan a number of lifetimes at once, then you choose, okay, this time I'm going to be the mom, and the next life I'm going to be the daughter, and the next life I'm going to be the friend. So you choose your roles, and then you can play them out on a screen and see what that experience might be like, and then adjust. Put somebody else in the play, or just the experience, or take that experience out and choose another. And you spend years planning one lifetime. In earth time, it would be years. There is no time on the other side. All time is now, which is kind of hard to understand, but Francine, the spirit guide, explained it like a merry-go-round, that time goes around in a circle, and you can step off the merry-go-round or step on the merry-go-round. So actually, if you wanted to and had permission to come to Earth to experience, you could go into a life in the past. You could go into a life in the future, because now God's time is all time. So Shakespeare wrote, "All the world is a stage. All the men and women are merely players. They have exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts." And that's really speaking about our experience coming to Earth. We have many lifetimes, and we have many experiences, and we have many roles. When we get to Earth, it's kind of hard to think about that because you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of the experiences. So we write our scripts. You decide, are you going to be tall, short, or average? Are you going to be rich, poor, or experience bankruptcy? Are you going to be well educated? Are you going to be a dropout? Are you going to have major accidents? Are you going to have major illnesses? Are people going to betray you? You decide the big things that are going to happen in your life. And then we are responsible for our reactions. So say you're in a minor accident. Do you spend the next 3 months lamenting about it? You didn't get hurt, but you're upset about it. Or do you just go, okay, I'm okay. I can get my car fixed. It will be okay, and go on with your life. It's your choice. And every choice you make changes your path. Have you ever read one of those books where at the end of each chapter you choose what's going to happen next? So at the end of the chapter, you choose, okay, is the main character going to buy the puppy? Or instead, is he just going to go visit a friend? And then according to what you choose, you go to that appropriate page, and that continues the path, the life path of that character. And with every choice you make, it changes what the path will be. It slightly alters what's going to happen. And the same thing with your life, this life. With every choice you make, you change what's going to happen, because there are many possibilities, and you choose the possibility and then follow your path. Now, you have a car probably, and it has some kind of GPS app, and you plug in, you want to go to Phoenix. Okay. Then your app fixes the directions so that you can get to Phoenix. Now, you may get on a side road, you may get sidetracked, but it keeps correcting you so that you can get where you want to go. Well, that's what happens with the angels. The angels keep correcting your path so you go where you need to go and you experience what you need to experience. Let me give you a small example. I was going on a trip and I needed to take some medication with me. So I very carefully placed it in a container and made sure, like 3 times I checked to make sure it was on my carry-on, in my carry-on. Then when I got to my destination, there was no medication, even though I know I put it in my suitcase, my carry-on. But obviously that was a lesson. What was I going to do if I didn't have medication? Well, The angels made sure my medication wasn't there. Another example, that same trip, on the airplane, I was reading. So I took my glasses off and carefully made sure I put them in this little waist pack that I have that I usually wear, that I can put a pen in and my glasses and some chapstick. I carefully put it in there. And yet, when I got off the airplane, no glasses. They're not there. So I had a choice. Could I just use some old readers that weren't necessarily the correct, what do you call it, the correct kind of glasses? Or should I talk to someone and have them check the airplane, tell them where I sat, and get my glasses? I chose to get my glasses. I talked to one of the agents, and they sent somebody to the plane that was being cleaned and got my glasses. So those are choices you make. They may be small, but it changes what's happening. If I didn't have my medication, I may not have felt that well. Or if I didn't have my glasses, I might have had trouble reading things and seeing things. Your choice. You make choices. So your whole life is this drama. And every lesson that happens, bad things and good things, it's good to take time to reflect and think, why did that happen to me? If you don't take time to reflect and figure out, especially bad things that are happening, they can repeat until you figure out what the lesson is. God is not upset because you can't figure it out. You know, when people are making a movie and they have those clacker things, take one, take two, take three. Well, the same thing happens in life. Take one. Okay, you didn't get the lesson. It repeats. Take two. All right. Did you figure out why you had that lesson? What you were supposed to learn from it? What understanding you were supposed to come to? If you didn't, you're liable to have take three, take four, as many chances as you need to learn the lessons that you chose to learn in this life. Now, when we get into life, we have our little scroll that has our life chart of the big things that we want to experience. But when we get here, they say the veil comes up and we can't remember what we wrote. And if we did, then we would be able to avoid it or alter things when we want to experience them. So we get here, we can't remember what our lessons are, but the angels know what they are. And then when we get to a hard lesson, we go, oh, I don't want this lesson. I don't want to do this, but you wrote it down. You were in this perfect, loving environment on the other side. And we wrote it in. Actually, we love God so much that we chose hard lessons. And a lot of us chose extra credit to go beyond the lessons that we wrote in this chart. So we add things in our lifetime so that we can learn even more. Now, the big things are usually set in concrete. It's like, I don't want anyone to change this lesson, whether I petition to change the lesson to God and say, God, I don't want this lesson, or we appeal to the angels, we appeal to the spirit guides. If we said, I don't want this lesson changed, then the lesson will not be changed. We can go back to my life where I was having a life of despair. I was upset with my spirit guides. I was upset with my angels because they were not listening to me. Well, they were listening to me, but they weren't acting on my petitions. They weren't changing things because I wrote in concrete, do not change this lesson. I want this life chart to be about despair. I want to experience despair. So sometimes when you petition or pray for things to change in your life and they don't change, it's because you set them in concrete. You said, do not change this lesson. And they don't. You also have written in at least one desert period, and that's where no one will help you. You say, okay, during this time period, I want to see how I can do on my own without the help of angels, without the help of spirit guides. Your angel will still protect you from a car running into you that's not supposed to run into you, but everything else will be left to you. And you go through this desert period and you think, I'm all alone. No one is helping me. I'm in the trenches and nothing can be done. And often you feel alone and hopeless and sad. And just know it could be a desert period and you will come out of it. So just do the best you can. Take a breath each day and see what can be done to get out of it. You can petition for it to be shortened. If you think you're in a desert period, ask for that experience to be shortened. Now, we write in difficult things. We may write in a major illness. We may write in spina bifida, or to become a quadriplegic, or to have major cancer. But that doesn't mean that you can't change any of it. You can soften your experiences. Some illnesses, like a cold, an earache, those are not written in your chart. We've left ourselves open to those experiences. So if you have a cold, it's probably because you have not protected your aura, your electrical emanation. Every day, ask for your aura to be complete. I ask for it to be complete and color corrected, because we have a color emanation for our aura, and I don't want it to be muddy. I want it to be a clear color. Mine's emerald green. I want it to be emerald green. So ask for your electrical emanation to be complete, because if there's a hole in your aura, that allows illness to come in. So say you have a cold, then tell your body, I want my body to be back to my healthy state of being in 2 hours. So you've given your body 2 hours to get their act together, all the cells, all the organs, all the systems in your body, to get the act together and drop the illness. It could be cancer. Talk to your body. You have choices. You can ask the angels to help heal you. You can talk to your spirit guide and ask for master healers to come heal you. You can ask that when you go to sleep, you go to the healing lab on the other side and give them permission to heal you. You can ask for doctors that would be able to know exactly what to do and how to treat you. You have many choices for every experience you have. Don't just accept illness. Find out about whatever that illness is and see what you can do about it. Even if it's an illness that you wrote in for the rest of your life, you can still soften that illness. So take the time, reflect, decide, okay, I'm going through this experience. What can I do about it? And act upon it. Don't just accept that you have an illness and just be there and suffer the illness. What can you do to soften it? What can you do to get rid of it? If it's not anything that is permanent, then tell your body you want it to be gone now. Get upset with the illness. Be passionate. Tell your body what you want. It's your body. Talk to it. Tell your body you want to be at your personal optimum. You want to be in your healthiest state possible. So go through the lessons in life, but reflect upon them. And as I talked about last week, be beyond your body. Think of being beyond the physical in your spirit body so that you're more the observer and the dramas of life start dropping away. Most of the drama you don't have to interact with. You can observe it and then just let it go. Yesterday, I was having trouble with that because they wouldn't port my telephone, my sister's telephone. I spent 3 hours on the phone with people trying to get them to transfer the phone service from one company to another. And no matter what I did, it was not working. Well, obviously, it's a lesson I wrote in because it actually should have taken like 5 seconds, but things kept happening to change the path and to keep me in this loop of experiencing. So finally I said, okay, I need to be above my body. I need to be beyond my body and let this negative emotion go. I don't need the negative emotion. It's not going to change anything. It's like when we worry about something. Worrying isn't going to change anything. Worrying is programming for what you don't want. So spend your time, as my friend Sylvia would say, spend your time with your pity party for an hour and then let it go. You don't need to keep it. If you want to experience that and get upset, fine. Then give yourself a time limit and then let it go. If you need to figure out why you're going through something so it doesn't repeat, then take some time to reflect. Know that you can shorten your experiences. Petition to shorten whatever experience you're going through. Even if it's grief, grief can be shortened also. Petition, ask God, ask your spirit guides to help you, ask your angels to help you. You always have your personal guide with you. You always have your personal angel with you. They're assigned to you. They pay attention to you. They are with you. You also have loved ones that are around you. You have probably additional angels or additional spirit guides. Call on them. They're there to help you. Sure, you wrote in these hard lessons when you were sitting in this pleasant, wonderful, loving place on the other side and said, oh yeah, I'll sign up for that. Okay, yeah, that'll be okay. And then you get here and think, oh, Gaz, what was I thinking? What was wrong with me that I decided to do this lesson? It all comes back to you wanted to perfect for yourself and gain knowledge and understanding, and you wanted to share it with God because you love God so much. And God loves you no matter what you do, even if you make so many mistakes in this lifetime. God knows this is hard. God knows these are lessons, and it's okay. You are the only one who ever judges your life. Many clients, hypnosis clients, I've guided to the other side, and they've checked their charts. They've checked their lifetimes. They've checked past lives. And they are the only ones who ever judge their lives. You can go to this viewing area and see your life like a movie. God isn't there judging you. You judge your life. You decide, didn't do so well on that lesson. Maybe I need to repeat it. Or maybe I never want to come into life again. You decide. The angels are with you because there's at least one angel who's with you when you review your life, who's very familiar with your chart and will help you understand why things happened. There's other temples and locations where you can also find out about it. There's a council of elders, and you can talk to them about issues in this life. Or when you pass over to the other side, you can talk to them about why things happened and what happened. Many choices. You wrote this chart. As my friend Sylvia would say, it's a bad camping trip, so just deal with it. You got to laugh and think, why in the world did I choose these things? Well, you did, so just get through it. If you have questions, please put them in the comments and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 10 a.m. for Take What Rings True. Thanks. Bye.